Hey, welcome to this edition of Discover Rocky Mount. I'm your host, Grant Robertson. Now, this week we have exciting updates from Alex Langley, supervisor with our Parks and Recreation Department. Alex, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you all for having me.
Yeah, what we really want to do today is talk to our community about the importance of athletics for one, but also the robust opportunities you have for really individuals to stay kind of healthy, athletic, and all that. And where it really starts is with youth sports. And traditionally, we think of youth sports, especially as you get into the middle and high schools, you think the schools are doing a heavy lift on that. But I know that the city of Rocky Mount really has a very great program when it comes to youth athletics. Can you just kind of speak to, what opportunities are there?
Okay. It's fun, like you said, that middle school, a large majority of ours are up to age 12. And we do year-long fall, winter, and summer. We've got in the fall, we focus on tackle football. We have a fall soccer program as well, and actually do fall baseball and softball. In the winter, we are huge in basketball, youth basketball. We have about 400 kids in our basketball program. And we've also got a youth futsal that we do as well. That's kind of an indoor version of soccer. And in the spring, we focus on, we come back with another, that's our big baseball and softball. It's more about the competition, and that's our big seasons for baseball and softball. And we also got flag football and another soccer version as well. Our opportunities are a little bit less in the summertime, but we have started up a pretty big summer basketball league. And we're actually starting to dive in a lot of stuff with youth tennis as well, where we're working with some local instructors. And fingers crossed, we're looking to start eventually maybe join up on what they call the Down East Youth Tennis Circuit and maybe compete locally or regionally within that as well.
Excellent. Well, if people aren't familiar with, what we have going on with all the stuff you just mentioned, can you talk about the facilities that really host these events, specifically starting off with the sports complex?
Oh yeah, I always talk about it with our stuff is that we are very fortunate for what we're able to do for our youth sports. We basically are able to centralize all of our programs through two main spots. The sports complex, which houses our, we have 11 baseball and softball fields, soccer fields, and our football stadium there as well. So all those sports that I just mentioned, we're able to do all of that there. We're playing soccer on every Saturday in the spring and the fall. Flag football is out there. Our tackle football plays there as well. And then baseball and softball, in addition to all the tournaments that our complex brings in as far as travel tournaments, during the week, we hold everything out there. Monday through Thursday is, we're packed, jam-packed with stuff going on. For flag football and soccer, our practices are out there as well. And then in the winter, we're very fortunate too that we've got the Rocky Mount Event Center here that we work with that group as well and that organization. And so we're able to house all of our basketball there as well. They started back in maybe 2019, and then since COVID, it's just grown. And it's the same thing to me, whether it's at the complex or the event center. We always pride ourselves in that it's kind of like a special event every night, bringing the community together. We feel that a lot of folks play because that's where they get all that it's centralized and everything is one spot. They know they're going to be at the complex, they're going to be at the event center, and they can come out, have a nice, they're learning the sport and everything, but they just come out and have a nice community night every time they come out for whatever game they're playing.
Right. Well, that's awesome. And what great facilities, the event center, to be able to play in that,
oh, yeah.
Where tournaments across the state and nation are coming, and now at even the city level, those athletes are able to take part. Now, when you speak to the various opportunities, can you break it down for anyone watching of what to expect for registration when it comes to particular fall, winter season? What kind of timeline are they looking at?
All right, we're going through the calendar year. I think might be the best way. January 1st through mid-February is usually what we call our spring registration season, and that's baseball, softball, spring soccer, and flag football. And so that usually goes from January 1st to February 14th, somewhere in there, or mid-February. And then our fall season, which is kind of weird, but our fall season usually opens up June the 1st and then runs through mid-July. And then
for the registration.
For the registration,
yeah, gotcha.
So mid-July, maybe early August. And also the only one that's might be a little bit different, our tackle football, we usually want that to be done. That usually starts in May and runs through June 30th. And that way that's kind of keeps us, because that's going to start a little bit earlier than the fall sport. That's a fall sport, but starts earlier than like baseball, softball, and soccer. And then the man, I guess that covers most of it. That was
Yep.
the winter and spring stuff.
But regardless, if people have kind of a
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I missed that one. Our winter season for youth basketball, that will actually start about Labor Day.
Okay.
And then runs through usually about Halloween for registration.
But regardless, if people cannot keep up and remember, there's a great opportunity to kind of find out this information. Where do they go?
We do a good job we have a weekly email that we send out, and then we do a lot of stuff on our social media, and then we work with the website, for the city's website, to try to keep our calendar up to date so they know when registration is.
So there's plenty of opportunity for people to stay informed. One big other opportunity that you really are looking for is volunteers. You can't do this alone.
Oh,
so
absolutely
tell me
not.
about the volunteers that you need.
We're huge as far as needing coaches for youth sports. Just our basketball season, we'll have 45 teams, so each team needs a head coach. I mean, that's just the way it looks. So we're always looking for those that are that have a passion for youth sports, passion for working with children, and I mean, we can teach them everything they need. We provide them with all of our volunteers are background screened, and then everything. Once you go through the background screen, then we can give you a little bit of training, and then work with you and communicate with you. We're good to go. And but we're always looking for those that are that have a passion for sports. If a background or something like that, and they can teach the kids and kind of be there for them, and give them a good experience. That's the main thing. And one thing we always talk about, you don't have to have a whole lot of experience, but if you can communicate, and you can just kind of communicate with the parents and have a little bit of knowledge, you can be a really successful youth coach.
Excellent. Well, we've talked about the younger generation and what their opportunities are, but some of us adults, not myself, but others really like to stay athletic and keep kind of that energy going. Is there adult opportunities when it comes to sports?
Yes, we have. Right now, we have adult volleyball, which you actually play at the event center as well. It's usually in the winter season, probably about January and February. Our biggest adult sport is adult soccer. We usually have anywhere from 150 to 200 people playing in the summertime, June and July for us. And then also we've got opportunities for adult futsal, where you can play indoor soccer. And then we've dabbled here and there with like adult kickball, and we also do we have adult softball that happens at least every year as well. So I mean, we throw some things here and out there, not from time to time, but those that I've just mentioned are usually the ones that have been our mainstay and that are on our calendar each year.
Well, I'm sure everyone really looks forward to each of these seasons, and it really becomes a pattern that you get some, great return athletes. You get to see those ones that grow up through your program, and hopefully go on to bigger and better things of athletic individuals. Also, when it comes to athletes coming out, is there tryouts? Or really, once people really register, you're really welcoming everyone to take part? How does that work? Is there tryouts, or is everyone welcome really?
It's not a tryout like they do with like the school setting. We will do what we call player evaluations, especially for our 8U and up, for the coaches, because we like to have the coaches see the kids, and then from there, everybody that registers will get placed on a team, whether it's 6 and under. My staff will place the kids on the teams, and then at 8 and older, we'll have coaches draft. So the coaches will evaluate them, and also our staff evaluates them as well to kind of help with that process. And then we'll hold a coaches draft, and that's how the teams get divided.
And what you ultimately see is really a balanced playing field, where you really are able to really balance out the competition.
Yeah, we've been tweaking it here and there as far as our draft process.
Yeah.
But we want it balanced. We want everybody to have a very positive experience, and just exciting, and because if it's not balanced, it cannot be exciting at times.
Well, I think I'm familiar with what you do, and I think it's what you bring to the community really year-round really speaks highly of what we have within the city of Rocky Mount, the sporting opportunities, and just the atmosphere of that community that sports really brings to this area. So again, I'd like to thank Alex for being here today and really talking to all of us about the opportunities. So we're going to check away for 1 second and take a little quick break, but when we come back, we'll have my co-host Selena here talking with our special events coordinator, Jamel, to talk about other events throughout the city.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Hi, I'm Selena Richardson, Media Relations Specialist with the City of Rocky Mount. Welcome to Discover Rocky Mount. My special guest today is Jamel Pitt. He is the Special Events Coordinator for the City of Rocky Mount. How are you, Jamel?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Well, when people look at areas, one of the things they want to know is what is there to do in that area, whether they're visiting or they live here. And you're responsible for a lot of what attracts people to the area with the events. There's one in particular that comes to mind, a music event that's over the summer. Talk about that.
Well, that event is our Downtown Live event. It's our outdoor music concert series that takes place around late May to late August at the Imperial Center on the lawn. And we have a live band, food vendors, adult beverages that are featured on the Imperial Center Terrace for everybody to enjoy. It's one of our most well-attended summer events in that, the citizens of Rocky Mount get out pretty early to clean their spots on the lawn and enjoy all the music, the beer, and the food.
They do look forward to it. And you have various genres of music. What types?
A lot of it is kind of party music, beach music, stuff that kind of harkens back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But then we'll get like a cover band to cover like more recent, top 40 songs, popular songs that everybody knows.
And there's one in particular that I know is a staple in the area, whether it's at the Downtown Live or other events, and that is the TAMs. What excites people so much about the TAMs, you think?
Oh, man, TAM's been around longer than I've been around. I mean, people love them. They always draw a huge crowd, probably some of the biggest crowds I've seen in this position when we have them at Downtown Live, like you said, barbecue. They are high energy. They really engage with the crowd, get them dancing, singing, and everything else they can get them to do right out there.
They do. They do get the crowd moving. Well, another event that happens annually is the Juneteenth Festival, and that's been going on for quite a few years. I understand it's like a partnership that you have. Give us some details or history on that partnership.
Yeah, with that event, we work with the Juneteenth Planning Committee. It's made up of various different community members around the city of Rocky Mount. Some from here, some not, but they have all had the shared common goal of hosting a Juneteenth event in Rocky Mount. And I can honestly say it's probably one of the biggest Juneteenth festivals we have, at least in the eastern part of the state. When I came in back in 2022, we transformed it from a 2-day event to a 3-day event. We added on a gospel day that was focused on that Sunday of the Juneteenth weekend. So it's just, gospel music, a little bit of worship, but still keeping with, the traditions and cultures of the Juneteenth celebration.
All right, and I know music is a big part of that too. What are some of the other features that people can look forward to when they come to Juneteenth?
Just like I said, the music, we always try to have a big name for a headliner. For instance, last year we had Dougie Fresh come down and Donald Lawrence and his group come down. The year before, we've had John P. Key and Hezekiah Walker on that Sunday. We also have various food vendors. Some are local, some are outside of Rocky Mount. A lot of arts and craft vendors that have shops here in Rocky Mount and in downtown Rocky Mount, and just different community groups and organizations that come out and support the event.
And you mentioned something about having headliners too. A lot of times people would have to spend a lot of money to see a headliner performing, but a lot of your events, they're free, aren't they?
Yeah, just about every single event we do is a free event. I mean, we recognize where we're at in Rocky Mount, and there's certain things you really just shouldn't charge to do, and especially if we can just find ways to offer it to the community for free so that everybody can come out and enjoy it.
Another one, and I don't know why it makes me think of a big old family reunion or community reunion that happens in July that you do, the Independence Celebration. Give us details about that.
That's our annual fireworks celebration on at least a base level, but we have fireworks obviously, then we do games and activities for kids. Give a ton of giveaways, inflatables, bouncers, video game trucks, like a huge kind of celebration for the 4th of July. We'll have people come out and sing the national anthem. The honor guard with the police department will come out and present the colors to kick off the event. It's just, if not our biggest celebration we have at the Rocky Mount Sports Complex in the stadium. I mean, the whole football field is probably packed from one end zone to the other end zone. The bleachers are filled. if I had to give a good estimate, is maybe 5,000 to 7,000 people right at the height of the event, with another 1,000 sitting outside waiting till the fireworks goes off.
Yes, and I usually help out with the hosting of those events, but this time my daughter was with me when I went to the most recent one, and so I saw it from a different side. We were out there getting the face painted in the bubbles, and that's when I got a chance to see, people that know each other running up and hugging each other, and that's why I say it seems like a big reunion or something like that. And it's always on the day before.
Yeah, it's always on the 3rd, just so we can continue to have the 4th off, so we always do it the day before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in addition to those festivals that we've talked about, what are some of the other events, festivals, attractions that happen ongoing?
Well, another one of our larger events is our Barbecue Throwdown, or the Eastern Carolina Barbecue Throwdown, as it's officially called. We always do that kind of around late October. We work with the Kansas City Barbecue Society to sanction that event. So we have kind of professional cook teams from here in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Virginia, just come out and compete for. It's a 2-day event, but they really just compete on like the last day of the event. The first day is more like just a kickoff party to celebrate the event going on, and then the second day, real early in the morning, they, get all the grills going and start cooking and turn in all their meat, and with pork, chicken, and all that stuff, and just turn in and hopefully win the competition.
Right. And you do have some nice prizes. I've been there to see that as well. So what about the end of summer celebration? Is that something that's pretty recent that you started?
Yeah, we started that. I think in 2022, it was just a way to finish out the summer for all our events, a big celebration at Martin Luther King Jr. Park with the community that lives around that area. We'll get like a kind of like a go-go band or a party music band and just come out and play live music, have a lot of different games and activities for kids, inflatables, bouncers, a video game truck, a lot of giveaways, just kind of round out the summer and move on into the fall.
And then you have some holiday events. You do something for Easter when it comes up. Christmas, you have a lot going on too. Speak to that.
Yeah, Easter, we always do our Easter egg extravaganza, which has been kind of like another one of our mainstay events throughout the spring. It used to be at the Imperial Center for a little bit, but then we brought it back to Sunset, where I believe it originally started, Sunset Park. And, we'll do a big Easter egg hunt for various age groups, anywhere from 0 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 12, and save a special hunt for any members of our special populations community. We'll have food vendors, games, inflatables. Sunset Park is usually partially open during that event, where we'll have the train ride going and some other attractions inside that park as well. Mm-hmm. And then for the holidays, we always do 3 events. Our City Lake Lighting event, which takes place at City Lake. We'll light the Christmas trees and all the Christmas lights out there. Have giveaways, arts and crafts, food vendors, and do horse carriage rides around the lake so everybody can see the lights. For our Christmas parade, it's our Christmas parade. Mm-hmm. We usually have a really well-attended Christmas parade that we've been doing for years now. And then to round out the year, we do Winter Wonderland at the Imperial Center, where we'll have visits from Santa Claus, tons of different arts and crafts activities, some more giveaways, and just inflatables and food vendors, just for kids to come out and enjoy the holidays and kind of one last celebration before everybody goes home for Christmas.
Yes, I think that's something that people look forward to as well. What about the Christmas parade? How can people participate in that if they want to actually be in the parade or have a float?
Well, the Christmas parade registration usually opens up not late September, kind of early October. We'll have application hosted on the downtownrockymount.com website, where they can go and apply for it. It's open to anyone that wants to apply, anybody that has, or part of a community organization, a nonprofit, or they just want to be in the parade. We try to get as many people as we can. I think we average around about 100 floats a year, so they can just go on, get the application filled out, and submit it. It's about a $50 registration fee. And then, the day of, we get everybody staged that morning, and we start the parade around 3 o'clock that afternoon on the day of.
Lots of fun. So you plan a lot of events for a lot of people all year long. How much preparation, like how far in advance do you say you start planning for these events?
At least a year. Like right now I'm working on Juneteenth. We started planning that back really before Christmas, and we kind of get the reels rolling in January, February. So you got to really start early with a lot of this stuff.
Yes, indeed. And we talked about the festivals. A lot of this is outdoors. For those who may not be so much the outdoorsy type, what other kinds of places that people can go in the city and have some fun?
Yeah. Well, where I work at the Imperial Center for the Arts and Sciences, we have a ton of different activities. For instance, our Children's Museum has rotating exhibits, educational exhibits for children. We have a live animal gallery that features a ton of different animals, such as turtles, a baby alligator, a bigger alligator, Recently, we just added in an African gray parrot named George, who is very talkative and greets just about everybody that comes through. So you can come see that. On the second floor of the Children's Museum, there's more curated activities and games for smaller children, but we're constantly adding new stuff to that as well.
And there's an art gallery there too, isn't there?
Yeah, the art gallery with very, very great exhibits from different artists inside of North Carolina, I believe all over the nation, that just submit art to be displayed in the Imperial Center and Arts Gallery.
And aren't there, I see classes advertised sometimes on their Facebook page. People could actually come in and be the artists themselves, is that correct?
Yeah, in our arts education building, we do various different art classes that's put on by our arts educator over there. There's things from pottery and painting and different other arts and crafts type of classes for both adults and children.
So what's a good way for people to be able to keep up to date with what's going on? Is there a website?
Yeah, the Imperial Center has its own website, imperialcenter.org, and then also things are advertised on the City of Rocky Mount's website itself, usually on the Parks and Rec Department page.
Very good. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I have been talking with Jamel Pitt. He is a special events coordinator for the City of Rocky Mount. Be sure you get in on some of these events this year, and be sure to follow us on our Facebook page and, of course, RockyMountainC.gov. Thanks for being here for Discover Rocky Mount.